Hello world, welcome to another episode of After the Break. Here to touch on 7 of the most common mistakes people make while filing their federal income taxes. With the ability to file in all 50 states, it's Lameiko Anderson. Greg, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and yourself?
All is well, thanks for asking. So Miko, tell the people who you are and what services you provide.
Hello, my name is Lameiko Anderson. I am a virtual and in-person tax preparer. Not only do I prepare taxes, I'm here just to talk and give advice as well. I like to take the time out with my clients and kind of get a feel of who they are so they can also get a feel of who I am. I offer every service you could think about. No, seriously though, my main thing is to prepare taxes, but I am your bookkeeper, your personal bookkeeper if you need me. I will be your personal clerk, whatever you need to make sure that you file your taxes properly, accurately, and you want the best refunds and get all your credits at the same time, the legal way. A lot of people forget about that part.
Yeah, I know that's right. Yo, you touched on something that, I had a conversation with Joyce the other day about it being a part of the culture. And you said the legal way. I've seen cases in the past, in order for people to get approved for homes, in order to get larger returns, they just do extreme numbers. But it never falls back on the preparer. It always falls on the filer. So how does that work, man? And what are some precautionary things they should look out for when it comes to numbers and these the amounts that's, that people can guarantee on their return?
Well, one thing for sure, you want to check and make sure when your preparer does your taxes, you want to go line by line, line 1, line 2, and make sure that everything is accurate and you are okay with what this tax preparer is doing. You are telling us, hey, this is right. We're going to do our thing, and you're going to say, hey, this is right, or no, this is not right. But at the same time, as well as the tax preparer, the client has to check numbers as well, because we're not perfect. We do make mistakes. So that means, okay, I'm gonna give this to you. Hey, I might have put one number in your address wrong, but I need you to check and make sure and tell me, hey, this is not right. It goes hands on, it's both people, we do our job, but like I say, we're not perfect and we're not God. So all we can do is give you your tax refund. I mean, not your tax refund, your tax paperwork, let you check over it, and hopefully everything will be right and we'll file it from there. But the main thing is putting everything together, making sure you're organized, and making, just double checking everything. You got to be real dedicated to what you do.
Now let's touch on some of these 7 common mistakes that people make while filing their taxes.
I go in, I put my numbers in, I go back, I check my numbers, and then I go back and I check my numbers again. And then I let you check my numbers to make sure that all our numbers are adding up to be the same, because that is the worst mistake in the world. Just you can be one number off and your whole taxes is out the door. We have to go do we have to go file for amendment, and we don't want to have to go through all that. So if we do it right the first time, and I'm really like a little OCD, so we're going to check those numbers like 3-4 times. I'm going to make sure those numbers match what they're supposed to match and add up to what they're supposed to add up to, because one mistake, like I said, can have us waiting on our taxes the whole year.
So you mentioned numbers. So wrong bank information. Like, how important is having the proper bank information? Also, forgetting to report income. Sometimes people falsify, some people fluctuate, to try and get themselves a balance so they won't end up owing. Some people want some money back just to really benefit themselves. So how important are those things, and how common is it that people actually get caught up doing it?
It's very common. They do it all the time, just trying to get the max or trying to just balance out to zero, But at the end of the day, it's if you don't have your documentation correct, you can't file it. Don't try it. It comes back to bite you. this is a legal system that we're doing here. So if you don't have your proper documentation, don't try to claim something that you're not supposed to claim, because when your taxes don't come back, you're mad at your preparer because you gave her this false information and she filed this false information. But once again, that's where our due diligence come in, and we'll sit there and I'll say, well, do you have documentation for what you're showing, what you're telling me? Because I can't just go by you saying, hey, I do hair and I make $10,000 a year. No, you have to show me some paperwork. I need receipts. I need bank statements, whatever you can come up with, because every piece of money you make, you should have some kind of receipt for it.
You mentioned the receipts. Also, you mentioned the bank information. So I'm taking it that you're speaking on filing for as a business as opposed to an individual. So in regards to business taxes, as far as filing, where you can do quarterly, every 6 months, and you also file that way as a non-business.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, usually when you're not a business and it's an individual income tax, you'll come with a W-2 or 1099 or something of the sort. So you will have that proper documentation. There's no way. I mean, and we have had people that come in with fake W-2s, and that's just us being tax preparers have to know the difference. So don't try it, because we know the difference. We look for it.
So what's some of the penalties for it?
Well, actually, being with the fake W-2, the only penalty you get from us is, hey, we can't file your taxes. Because what people fail to realize, whatever W-2 you get from your employer, the IRS gets that same W-2. So you can go make up a W-2 with these different numbers on it, but if it does not match what the IRS have, that's a flag and you'll get audited. I've had several situations where it's not even the employer put the bonuses on one W-2 and didn't put the bonuses on another W-2, and it was flagged and was audited. And even though everything was fixed and it came out correct, it's still, there's that flag there because the numbers did not match. A lot of people don't realize that the IRS gets the same W-2 that they receive.
Bonus. For some people, for me, when I hear it, I hear cash. You know what I'm saying? Like tips or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, I got audited before after making a big purchase because I didn't keep a lot of money in the bank and stuff. So I was a deposit type person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But over time, I guess because of what it was, I ended up getting audited after the purchase. Does that reflect it as well? Can that be the case for not filing cash or not adding cash or tips or bonuses? You have to have it.
It depends on the amount. So if you have, once you get to a certain amount, you will, and I think it's over $600. But once you get to over that, it has to be filed. It has to be, taxes supposed to be taken out. If you qualify to have taxes taken out, it's after $600, your money needs to be accounted for. But even if you just have a receipt saying, okay, I received this, or you get a form from your job saying that I received this in bonuses and tips or whatever.
At least now I know why I got audited. You know what I'm saying? Because it was over 600 for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You know what I mean? The signature process. I see on your list of the 7 things, some of the most common things that people make mistakes on is proper signature. So how is that possible when you're looking at your forms and you just like, hey, sign this e-signature, or he goes a stack of paper, sign here, sign here, sign here. Like, how do people make mistakes like that? What is it?
Well, I have a program through JotForm, and it requires a signature. But if you could put a dot in that JotForm line, and it'll say a signature is in that line. So it can be simple as not doing a full signature, and then you can just skip over that process. Sometimes, but that's only when you're doing it through online. Now, most of the time, if you're in person to file your taxes, you'll have someone that sit up there and tell you sign here, sign here, sign here, because she knows she can't file those taxes if all these signatures are not here. So it's usually those signature mistakes are made usually through online practices. It's the virtual practices where the signatures will come in or something might be missing because it's usually virtual. When you're in person, and that's why I care to do things more in person, because you have everything physical there. You can sign this, I can see you, we can actually talk. So that's why I just favor kind of in person.
I'm wondering about that because when I go get documentations notarized, right, I noticed that they make me sign
Right.
proof. Like sometimes I made the mistake of signing it before I took it in there because you're supposed to sign it right there. And so I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe it's more so of a consistency of the signature. So is that something too that commonly happens?
That's very common to happen. But then, the kids of today, they don't know most of them don't know how to sign in cursive unless they actually took their time out to say, I want to learn cursive, so
Man.
it's not a main subject anymore. So most of the kids, probably 25 up in that age range, if they didn't go out on their own and learn how to sign their name in cursive, they don't know how to sign in cursive. So, you have to, it's with the signature thing. Yes, you do have to watch it, but you have an ID there and you'll know if this person is that person, whether their signature don't look right because, hey, this person might have had a stroke and their signature might be off because of the stroke they had and they're not signing the same. So sometimes you can't go by that, and having that ID and that person right there is what we really look for.
So before we get out of here, one final thing. Claiming ineligible dependents. What are eligible dependents and what are some of the ineligible independents or dependents?
Okay, so ineligible dependents would be number one, a child that did not live with you more than half the year. Number two, anybody who is not a U.S. citizen is not a dependent. You cannot claim non-U.S. citizens on your individual tax return. If you can't reclaim adult children unless they are in college and they have to be under the age of 24. Those are the main things. And anybody who you do not provide half of the living expenses for, if you do not take care of a person, and when I say take care of them, not give them a couple of dollars every day, but you're providing a house, you're providing food, clothing, more than half of their living expenses have to come from you. And those are eligible and ineligible dependents for your income tax.
Let's go back over that list. That's missing or incorrect information, math or calculation errors, forgetting to report all income, wrong bank information, missing signatures or not signing, claiming ineligible dependents, and not including all tax forms. So that's a great list of things to consider before you go into filing and while you're filing, even if you choose to file on your own. So take those things into consideration. And Ms. Anderson, tell the people how they can get in contact with you to support any of your services.
Okay. I can be reached at Lameiko MzOrange Anderson on Facebook, and my telephone number 318-416-3089. You can also email me at Meiko, Meiko Anderson 318 @gmail.com. I will respond to you. I will answer. I do free consultations. I will talk to you. I will let you get a feel of what you're going to be looking at or what you need to handle your business for the tax season coming up.
Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing that great information.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we got to do it again next tax season, all throughout the year, because just because it's tax filing season right now doesn't mean that there's what's the deadline for filing? What, April 15th,
April
right?
15th. Yes,
April
and you
15th.
can always file an extension, and it usually go to October the 15th.
But that doesn't mean you can't file anytime throughout the year if they need your services, right?
That's true. That's true. You can file any time of the year. If you're late, you might have some penalties. So everybody try to get in there before April the 15th. But I mean, hey, our services are open 24 hours. It doesn't be as busy during the year as tax season, but we still have clients that come in late. It's mostly business owners and probably people who have to pay.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. That gotta pay. Man, been paying for a while, boy, I tell you. So that's what it is, man. So till next time, man, respect and salute.
All righty.
Be gone.